there's certainly been despite the fact that I preach about God, I go to church every Sunday, I am still a lowly, disgusting, vile sinner, as most of us are. But I thought I would talk today about myself, a little bit about me, because I know I mostly on this channel I talk shit and make dumb jokes that aren't funny and all that stuff, and I'll continue to do that because that stuff is great. I like the non-formality of it. I enjoy talking about dumb things, whether it's movie trailers or pop culture or stocks and politics and all kinds of goofy shit. I don't really have a niche here. I'm just kind of talking shit. So I hope for the people watching this, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, let me know. I would appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell me what you want to see down in the comments below. As long as it's nothing weird or perverted, I'll probably do it. But I want to talk today about why I consider myself to be a Protestant Christian Gentile as opposed to a Catholic. For the record, I attend a Episcopalian church. And I won't get into all the techno-babble of Episcopalians versus Lutherans versus Baptists versus Seventh-day Adventists versus evangelicals and all that stuff. It's the Protestant faith is perhaps more divided than the Catholic and Protestant faith are, right? But I thought I would talk more about myself and why I go to church, why it's important to me. And hopefully, if you're religious, maybe you'll take it more seriously. If you're not, maybe you'll start going. But church is very important, and so is finding God. And I don't mean just in the way that we live in a disgusting society of whores and drug addicts and all this kind of crap. I was scrolling Instagram yesterday, and it was for about 20 minutes. I probably saw 40 or 50 Instagram whores with their tits out and like just cleavage and crap. They were all successful. Unfortunately, I don't have tits, so I can't compete with that. But the Lord shallst prevail, as they say. I don't know who they would be. I just said that myself. But me, I'm John. Hello. I was raised Catholic mother. Dad wasn't really religious. Not really. No one else is really religious but my mom and me. And, we go back and forth over whether Protestantism versus Catholicism and all that. And there's a civil war going on, and it's been going on for centuries, but, my mom and I take part in it, and it's all in good fun. But anyway, I attended Catholic church, got baptized in the Catholic faith, confirmed in the Catholic faith. I went to catechism, which is like an after-school church session sort of thing. And after a while, I kind of fell out. I didn't really go to church at all, really, except for Christmas and Easter. But it's Christmas and Easter. By the way, Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year. I'm glad I didn't forget that. So, circa 2017, 2018, I think 2016 to 2021 might be the dark chapter in my life. Those were the worst 5 years ever. I was moody all the time and angry and depressed, and all sorts of stuff happened. Not a pretty era. So when COVID hit, and the few friend groups I had collapsed, and we don't talk anymore. If you're watching this, hello. You know, I think I deleted all their numbers anyway, but that's fine. Anyway, I realized that I needed some sort of foundation in my life, because I, like millions and millions of other people, realized that life kind of sucks sometimes, you know? There are people out there who have it a lot worse than me, and God bless you guys, and I'll pray for you. So when I started going to church, I thought, you know what? I didn't really care for the Catholic faith. I'm going to try the Protestant faith. So I went to, over the course of a year, 2021, 2022, 2023, I probably went to maybe 100 or so different churches, maybe 200. Certainly since I've moved down to Florida, I've been to maybe 10 or 15. Actually, I've been to this Episcopalian one maybe 3 times already. So I think I'm just going to stay there, because it's a nice church. It's in Naples. Beautiful monastery, beautiful chapel, beautiful location, everything. Very nice people too. People at church are very, very nice. I find the people who are mean don't go to church. The nice people go to church because they know they're looking out for people like me in need. Anyway, I went to Methodist churches. I went to Presbyterian churches, Baptist churches, all sorts of denominations. I didn't go to any of those non-denominational ones. I didn't go to any of those mega churches with the flashy light shows and crap. That stuff is horrible. That stuff is really, really bad. But people find God different ways. I don't know. It's interesting. And the major criticism of Catholicism that Protestants have, which I agree to a certain extent, is the over formality of it. You know, it's not just, you know, the Pope. The Pope is a foreign person, all that stuff. Priests and the bishops and the archdeacons and the Pope and all these formality. And I don't go to church to admire the priest or the Pope. I go to build a connection with God and Jesus. Idolatry, for the lack of a better word. Praying to, you know, the saints and the Pope and all that stuff. Which actually, this is all off the cuff. I don't have a script here, so I'll probably just throw this in Premiere Pro, edit some of the cuts and pauses out. But structure of the Catholic Church, it seems, to me at least, counterproductive, because instead of building a relationship with Jesus, like Jesus said, Jesus wants you to come to him. So it doesn't make much sense to me that you would want to go to the priest or the Pope or one of the archangels or one of the saints and ask them to pray for you. And I get that it's a humility thing, you know. We're not worthy of talking to God or Jesus. But they know that. That's why Jesus came down. That's the whole point of Christianity, isn't it? To build a relationship with Jesus in spite of our unworthiness. I'm not worthy. And that kind of thing turned me off, because I would much rather build a connection with God than distance myself from him. Didn't Jesus say, away from you, I never knew you? Probably Catholic. Anyway, we're still having fun. We're having fun. I don't care, really. I mean, as long as you go to church and read the Bible and try to be a good Samaritan, I think you're going to be okay. You're okay in my book. I like you. God might send you down to the eternal flames of hell, but at least you'll have my approval. That is not staying in. Just kidding, it is. And the main point of criticism against Protestantism is that as long as you believe in Jesus Christ, you'll be saved, which many critics kind of glom onto like it's a get out of jail free card. If you're a horrible person, but you believe in Jesus, you're going to heaven. You know that Family Guy episode where Osama bin Laden's in his safe house and the Marines bust in and he says, I accept Jesus Christ as my savior. And he dies and he still gets into heaven. That's funny. But I think it kind of, that's an oversimplification of it. You know? Like, I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Because I'm not an expert. I've read the Bible, I've listened to the audiobook, and I breezed through it, but I'm not like an expert on it. I can't quote it off the top of my head, so it's very hard to have these discussions, especially off the cuff. You can do whatever you want and be a horrible person as long as you believe in Jesus and you're okay. That's kind of an extreme. Like, I get where it's coming from and it makes sense, but if you believe in Christ and you trust in him and build a relationship, all the wicked stuff you do is gonna fall by the wayside gradually anyway. I think I connect to Protestantism more because I appreciate the Catholic structure and how tightly bound it is. And of course, Protestantism, as I mentioned before, has 1,000 denominations: Seventh-day Baptists, Evangelicals, Lutherans, Presbyterians, etc. But I also recognize that human beings are fallible. We kind of slip and slide and, move around and stuff. So having that many denominations is actually a very good thing, in my opinion, because Catholicism is a very strict thing, and if it doesn't appeal to you, it doesn't appeal to you. But with so many denominations, it's kind of hard to not find something. So if someone is a Christian, or at least trying to become one, and they're like, the Methodist faith doesn't really speak to me, but the Lutheran one does. And people worship differently than everybody. I don't worship or think the same as any of the people that go to my church. We probably have different technical views on how to interpret biblical text and all that. And that's part of being human. Our human brains are very interesting. And we're very fallible. That's why we need God and church. So the reason I go to church, there's a couple reasons. One, because there's a sense of community. I'm still new here in Florida. I've only been down here a couple months, and I know some people, but I'm still in that awkward phase of trying to branch out and reach everybody. But actually going to church in general is probably not the best way to do it if you're someone like me or my age or younger, because 90% of the people in my congregation are over 60. So that's just the way it is. Young people don't go to church anymore, which is sad. And if you're young, you definitely should. It's good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for your mind. It's good for your heart. It's just good. So yeah, the sense of community is important. Finding people who, are not drug addicts and homeless bums and people you don't want to associate with. I recommend you don't associate with drug dealers because you're gonna get into trouble. Certainly it comes from a desire to have some sort of foundation in my life. I definitely want something to base off of, because right now I kind of just go to work. I work a crappy little job, and then I post stuff on YouTube, and I've got like 90 subscribers, 95 or something. So I'm still like, I'm not even a blip on the radar, if I'm being honest. But I'm thankful for those 90 subscribers, and anyone who's going to watch this all the way through, however few people that may be, I appreciate that as well, because it's nice to know that I'm talking to people. People want to hear what I have to say, even if it's something dumb, even if it's something they don't care about. Maybe I'll turn somebody on to church. They're like, you know what? John's a weirdo and a doofus and a loser, but he goes to church. Maybe I should go to church. If I can turn someone on to accepting God, or going to the gym and eating healthy, as I drink my disgusting Celsius energy drink, that's great. That's great. So I've been talking for maybe 20 minutes now. This was a long video. It'll probably be shorter once I edit out all the awkward pauses and stuttering, but I just wanted to take this moment to tell you a little bit more about myself, because this channel is supposed to be a vlogging channel, and I haven't been doing that lately. So I'll have another video out for New Year's or Christmas. I will do a Christmas video of some sort. Maybe I'll sing Christmas carols. But if I don't see you guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and go to church. Take care.